Do 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 do. Josh's Order Corner.
That's me. All right, let's talk about something that I don't talk about often. Usually it's horror stuff, it's music, but right now we're going to talk about books. Yes, Josh, you talk about books a lot. Whatever. This is for Richard Chizmar. Richard Chizmar is a writer. He teaches writing, he owns Cemetery Dance Publications, he edits, he does it all. And he seems like a really nice dude. And I say that based on interactions I've had with him through like email and Twitter, X. Seems like a really nice guy. So I love supporting what he's doing. And that's why you see me ordering from Cemetery Dance or purchasing his books, and you see these videos. So I got a few things from him recently, one of which I already ordered because I didn't know what it was when I opened the box after getting back from Colorado. And one that I thought was something else, and it wasn't. So let's start with this right here. This was a pre-order. I was gonna wait and get it when I saw it in stores, which I did see it yesterday at Books a Million, but I ended up doing the pre-order on it because Richard Chizmar emailed out through the Cemetery Dance newsletter that if you did this pre-order, you could get a free Stephen King grab bag. Duh, I had to. So I ended up ordering it through Amazon, sending them the proof that I did the pre-order, and now we have Becoming the Boogeyman by Richard Chizmar. The cover is really nice. The man standing in the doorway with the bloody shadow. Very rad. A worthy and frightening sequel to Chizmar's Chasing the Boogeyman. Terrific storytelling, you won't be disappointed. Chasing the Boogeyman was excellent. It was a great read. Kind of fucked with your mind a little bit. Like it was very, I don't want to say confusing. Confusing is absolutely not the right word, but you really had a hard time what's real and what's not, what's real and what's make believe. It was written very, very well. I wasn't worried about the mysterious black bag that morning, probably just a bunch of leaves, I thought. Most likely fell off the back of someone's truck, no big deal. Until I got closer, and then I knew better. Back in the summer of 1988, a young Richard Chizmar was catapulted into the center of a living nightmare as the serial killer Joshua Gallagher, dubbed by the media as the Boogeyman, stalked his tranquil Maryland town. A lot has changed in the intervening years. These days, Chizmar enjoys a certain level of I can't read today apparently, a certain level of celebrity and notoriety himself, being the only person who an incarcerated Josh Gallagher will speak to on or off the record. Chizmar likes to believe that he's doing the world a public service by visiting Gallagher in prison, as there are plenty of other nameless victims out there who Gallagher might finally admit to killing and bring closure to grieving loved ones. And a dark rhythm and routine begins to take hold. But Chizmar eventually finds there's a price to be paid for dancing with the devil. When a masked figure with all the hallmarks of Gallagher's reign of terror from 30 years ago now leaves a horrifying calling card in front of Chizmar's home, and it's clear there's a new player on the board in the ongoing game that the Boogeyman controls. A riveting, haunting sequel to the New York Times best-selling thriller Chasing the Boogeyman, this is a tale of obsession and the adulation of evil, exploring modern society's true crime infatuation with unflinching honesty, sparing no one from the glare of the spotlight. Will those involved walk away from the story of a lifetime in order to keep their loved ones safe? Or will they once again be drawn into a killer's web? As the story draws to its shattering conclusion, only one person holds all the answers, and he just may be the most terrifying monster of them all. Is Chizmar the monster, or is Gallagher the monster? And here's why I didn't really want to go too in depth with the details on Richard in the beginning. I wanted to take it straight from the about the author here. Richard Chizmar is the co-author with Stephen King of the New York Times best-selling novella Gwendy's Button Box and the full-length novel Gwendy's Final Task, and the author of solo work Gwendy's Magic Feather. Recent books including Chasing the Boogeyman, The Girl on the Porch, and Widow's Point, a chilling tale about a haunted lighthouse written with his son Billy, which was recently made into a feature film. I need to remember to try to track that down. His short fiction has appeared in dozens of publications, including Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine, the year's 25 finest crimes and mystery stories, He has won 2 World Fantasy Awards, 4 International Horror Guild Awards, and the HWA's Board of Trustee Awards. Chizmar's work has been translated into more than 15 languages throughout the world, and he has appeared at numerous conferences as a writing instructor, guest speaker, panelist, and guest of honor. Guest of horror. So this is going to be a good one. I can't wait to get into it. I'm not going to tell you much more about it. Go buy a book. Go read a book. But it's going to be a very interesting read. I'm really excited for it. I will tell you that it clocks in at 410 pages. And he calls Steven Steve. I mean, that's pretty cool. He has that relationship. Let's open this up next. Like I said, this is one of the things I already opened. But what we have here is when you pre-order this book, you also have the option of getting this awesome bookmark as well as a signed nameplate. So this will go inside the book. I don't want to cover that. Okay, cool. So we're going to put it right inside the cover here. We're going to, you know what? I'm going to wait till I'm not on camera so I can try to get it in there straight. Now, the Stephen King mystery grab bag, oh boy, came with a few things. It came with this bookmark from The Dark Man, illustrated by Glenn Chadbourne. This special bookmark was printed exclusively for the slip-cased trade edition of The Dark Man from Cemetery Dance Publications. We also got a Stephen King baseball card. He is a Titan. Stephen King, catcher, New Jersey Titans, 6'3", 185 pounds. Fun fact, Steve King once ran into the Green Monster at Fenway and knocked 4 numbers off the scoreboard. He stayed in the game. We have this. It says postcard on the back, but it's for Gwendy's final task. Gives you a little excerpt from the story. Not an excerpt, I'm sorry. It's just like what you would see on the inside cover or on the back cover. A special sneak peek for independent booksellers of Gwendy's Magic Feather. And this, I do believe, is signed by Richard. So you have that. And then we got a couple art pieces that I think are from Dark Tower. And they're done by Bernie Wrightson, which is awesome because I absolutely love Bernie's work. And he did a lot of work with Stephen King, so it's kind of hard to narrow down exactly what it was from. And then this was the big piece to it. Midnight Under the Big Top. And this is advanced uncorrected proof. It is not for sale. Edited by Brian James Freeman. And the world's grandest tales of murder, madness, and magic set in and around the circus by renowned storytellers such as Stephen King, Joe Hill, Ray Bradbury, Richard Matheson, Neil Gaiman, Kelly Armstrong, Robert McCannon, Billy Chizmar, and plenty more. World's first ever poetry intermission. And for the grand finale, Josh Mallerman, author of New York Times bestselling Bird Box, will introduce you to Dandelion Andrews, a very unusual man who hasn't seen daylight in 3 months because he's digging a hole destined to become a most unusual carnival house of horrors. So this includes short stories, the first of which is Night of the Tiger, followed by Twittering from the Circus of the Dead. First one by Stephen King, that second one there by Joe Hill. Now, the other thing, this was a purchase that was offered, and at first I was like, no, I'm good, but I decided to take a risk. We have Google pulled up here just in case this throws me for a loop, but Richard offered a signed nameplate, so just like that one with his name on it that I just put in the book, signed nameplate grab bag. And I believe it was supposed to have like 3 or 4 little stickers of autographs, basically, that you can put into your book. So I have 3 here. One of them could be Stephen King. Hopefully it is not hard to distinguish who they are. First one is Joe Hill. Very cool. I can easily find a place for that. Dean Koontz. That's really cool. Is it gonna show you here. Boop. So Joe Hill, Dean Koontz. This was $45. So far those are solid. And Ramsey Campbell. No Stephen King. Ramsey Campbell. Let's see. For Joe Hill and and Dean Koontz, I know I have a couple books up there I can put those ones into. Ramsey, I lost it already. Ramsey Campbell. Let's see. An English horror fiction writer, editor, and critic who's been writing for well over 50 years. The author of over 30 novels and hundreds of short stories. Ghostly Tales, influence of H.P. Lovecraft, Severn Valley. Let's see. Silent Children, Creatures of the Pool, Midnight Sun. Books edited. Here we go. Novels. The Doll Who Ate His Mother in 1976. The Face That Must Die. The Overnight. The Grunt of the Dark. 7 Days of Cain. Wise Friend. Nothing jumps out at me, so I'll have to really look through and see if I can find something his that I'm familiar with or something to read. But Joe Hill and Dean Koontz, those are two really rad ones, so no complaints there. Richard, thank you so much for offering the ability to get in on this Stephen King grab bag. The nameplates, these are really cool. I will be able to find use for these in the books that I have upstairs. Very excited to jump into Becoming the Boogeyman. I got to finish what I'm reading right now, and then I'll be able to open this up and take it for a ride, but I cannot wait. I encourage you all to check out his work. Check out Becoming the Boogeyman, Chasing the Boogeyman, and let me know your thoughts. I love to read. It's one of my favorite things to do. I think sometimes at night my family gets annoyed that I'd rather pull out a book than play a board game or things like that. So I encourage you to pick up a book, do some reading, and go on an adventure in your mind. Till next time. Bye. Do 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 do.